Hello everybody, Injust here, and this is a fairly unusual video. First of all, you see there's no lights. I just wanted to savor the spooky atmosphere of Halloween. And the second thing being that this is not a reaction video. It's just gonna be, I guess, a little bit of a vlog, a little bit of a stream of consciousness kind of thing. Uh, there's been some things going on with my channel, right? You surely noticed that my schedule's kind of fucked. I've been missing out on some uploads on some days, and it's a mess in general. And I also lowered the amount of shows I'm watching right now from 6 shows and a game to, what is it, like 4 or 5 shows nowadays that I'm watching. So it's not, or rather, I don't want you to think of it as me making excuses. I just want to provide an explanation. That's how I want to look at it. Now, you don't have to worry. The channel isn't going anywhere. Nothing bad is happening. Well, kind of, sort of. But nothing bad is happening to the channel, so to speak. I'm not going on an extended break or anything of the sort. So if you clicked on this video because you were worried that something's going on, rest assured, nothing like that is happening. But still, some explanations are in order, I think. And so, if you like to listen to me rant a little, stream my consciousness a little, I guess, then stick around. If you were just worried about the future of the channel, feel free to click away and go watch something else. Absolutely no problem. Okay, so regarding my channel's schedule, I got a job. That's the short version of it. I now have a good and proper job as a teacher, of all things, so I've been having a little bit less time. Now, this job is great. Don't get me wrong, make no mistake. I work not even 20 hours a week. I work 20 school hours, which is 45 minutes for like a single class and then 5 minutes of a break. And I work 20 times that during a week. I only work 3 days a week, right? Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's an amazing deal, isn't it? You'd think. Why is my channel suffering so much because of that? And I'm kinda, or rather, I've been kinda asking myself the same question because I took that job thinking that, hey, I got some free days, I'm early home, I'm gonna have the time to record something after work, right? Back when I worked at a corporation, just slapping code into onto the screen, and I would be back home after 8 hours of work, 2 hours of 2 hours of commute one way, 2 hours of commute the other way, 11 or 12 hours of work, then 5 days a week. Then I wouldn't even dream of having the channel, of having any sort of a channel, of having any sort of thing, really. Back then, I would come back home, I would fire up The Witcher, and I would just play The Witcher for a couple of hours, The Witcher 3, eat, shower, sleep, repeat, and it was hell. Now, I thought, hey, shorter hours, fewer days, I'm gonna have the time to continue with my passions and whatnot. And if I was a different man, I would have that time. But here comes the problem. Here comes the crux of the issue. I've been struggling with perfectionism for a long time. And not the kind of perfectionism that you put on your resume or you say during the interview when they ask you for your biggest flaw, right? You say perfectionism because, sure, it's a flaw, but it means I'm gonna be doing my job really well, so it's not really. No, I mean like an actual personality disorder that's been diagnosed and all that jazz. That's like legit perfectionism. So, me making videos is not just a matter of me sitting here for an hour randomly, an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours or however long, and just talking to the camera. It doesn't start at that. Because I also need to be well rested enough. I need to be off a proper mindset, and I can't be too hungry. I can't be too, I don't know, dirty. Something's wrong with my camera. I think it's been skipping frames or something. Oh well, it's like whatever video, so it doesn't matter. You can like minimize it or something and just put it in the background. Right. Yeah, as I said, if I was a different man, I would come back from work with greasy face, hair clumped up with sweat, tired after 4 hours of sleep and dealing with kids for another 6 hours, and I would sit down and I would watch something half asleep, half yawning, and I would just release it and don't give a fuck. And I sometimes kind of wish would I was able to not give a fuck, because that seems easy. That seems very easy. I see some reaction channels out there, and I don't want to name any names. I don't want to shame anybody, but you know what kind of a reaction channel I mean, right? They turn on the video. The anime episode is like 24 minutes long. Their videos are 22 minutes long, maybe. They throw a couple ha, couple ha, couple oh, and that's about the reaction, right? I don't want to create a content of this kind. I wish I could, but I just can't. I just want to put some effort into it. So, back when I didn't have a job, right? I would, for example, if it so happened that I woke up after 5 hours of sleep because my cat woke me up, or because my neighbor decided that 7 in the morning is the perfect time to start drilling in their wall, or whatever else happened, and I wasn't in shape to record something because I was simply so tired and I don't want to compromise on the quality of my videos, I would take my medicine, I would eat something, I would maybe watch YouTube for a little while, then I would go take a nap for 2-3 hours or however long I needed. I would wake up, maybe go for a walk, take a shower, refresh myself, right? Fully wake up, then I would sit down and make the video. And now I don't have that ability. Not always, not on all the days. On the weekends, on Mondays, I can do that, but not throughout the week. Throughout the week, my time is limited, and I can't do the whole ceremony, quote unquote, around the videos. I can't ensure that I will be well rested. I can't ensure that I will be in the right state of mind. I cannot ensure those things, because if I have to go to job and I wake up after 6 hours of sleep, and then I go to work for another 6 hours, and I come back home, I could record something, but it would be shit, like straight up. Maybe you don't notice that, and that's the thing with perfectionism that sits in my head. Maybe it's just in my head, maybe it's not, maybe you can notice that as well. But my early reactions, my early videos, I would sometimes record very late, pretty much right before going to sleep, and I was very sleepy when I was recording that, and I always regretted doing that, because when I'm tired, when I'm sleepy, when I'm not in the right state of mind, when I'm recording because I have to, because I'm already late, because I need to crank out those videos, and I'm already falling asleep, I'm already in my pajamas, but I have to make something, then I don't make the best videos. When I'm tired, I get ranty, I get negative, my speech starts being slurred. I don't know if it's something that just I notice, or if it's something that you guys can also legit notice, but that's my perception of it. One video in particular comes to mind when I was recording Tokyo 24Ku. One of the episodes I was recording really late, so late in fact that I fell asleep during the discussion segment. I think I like dozed off. I woke up, I noticed that the recording is going on, I just stopped it and went to sleep. And later, when I reviewed that recording, not the reaction segment, thankfully I was so sleepy, I was so tired, I didn't remember much from that, so I could re-record that video keeping a reasonable amount of blindness to it, so to speak. I in at one point during that video, I got into some like weird, incoherent, incomprehensible rant where I couldn't even articulate myself properly. It was something about how the city is structured or something about the slums in that city, because that was like a running theme in that series. And because I couldn't articulate myself well, it came out as some sort of a, I don't know, some sort of a weird politically driven rant about the homeless or about the poor or about whatever. And that's not what I wanted to say. That's not what I wanted to take from that video, from that episode. And later, when I re recorded it, I knew what I wanted to say and I articulated myself well. But because I was so tired and so sleepy, I couldn't. And that's when I realized that I get only one shot at recording anything. If I were to be making essays or some, I don't know, not scientific, but like, I don't know, top 20 glitches in modern warfare kind of deal where some research is involved and I work on it throughout the week, for example, and edit it and whatnot, then I could let myself have a weaker recording session because I wasn't feeling well. Oh well, I can just scrap it and I can re-record it, or I can record it in batches. Maybe I can record the voiceover to the first glitch on one day and the voiceover to the next two glitches on the other. And the next day I'm not feeling like it, so I'm not gonna record any voiceover, right? But I get only one first impression. I get only one chance to record my reaction and my discussion on every single episode I record that on. So I better be in a top notch condition. I better not be overly negative, because there are some videos, again, from that period where I would spot one thing that didn't fit me, and the entire discussion segment was me ranting about that one thing. And you could get the impression that I didn't like the episode because it was just all negativity and all ranting, while I did like it. I just didn't like that one thing. But when I'm tired, my brain just works different, and I get into those long rants about things I don't like, and I get all negative, and I don't want that. I want to give every episode a fair fighting chance, and I want to judge it fairly, and I want to notice things. That's another thing, right? When you're tired, you just don't remember things, you don't notice things, your mind is slower, and again, that's another thing I don't want. So, to connect all that stuff together, right? Because I have the job, I don't have the freedom to give myself enough rest and to care for my state, I guess, well enough to be able to make a video reasonably on every day. Because as I said, when I come back from work tired after a little sleep, I care too much. Right? That's a problem here. I care too much. Because I could absolutely just sit down and record some whatever bullshit, but I don't want to. Tiabu recently started his series about, I think it's called the Daily Brew, and in the first video, in the first 10 minutes, he spoke about the like balance of keeping the schedule and keeping the quality. And I very much relate to that, because how tired is too tired, right? If I wake up after 7 hours of sleep and I go to work for 5 hours and I come back home, will I be tired enough for that to have a negative impact on my videos? Or is it still within the threshold where I can actually create something that I will be proud of? And that's a big issue that I used to not have. Because I'm tired, oh well, I'm just gonna take a nap. I want to go breathe some fresh air, sure, I can. I can just go out for a walk and I can be on that walk for 3 fucking hours and I'm not gonna feel like I'm wasting time. I need to go out to the store to buy some props, like tomato juice for my first episode of Yofukashi no Uta. That's how I did it. I woke up after 9 hours of sleep. I got a good night's sleep. I went for a walk, came back from the walk, bought some tomato juice, took a shower, sat down, dressed up, sat down to record in perfect condition. Nowadays, I don't have the freedom to do that, and that's a big issue to me. So that's why my schedule, unfortunately, suffers. And I also find myself in a bit of a catch-22 situation. Because reasonably, or ideally, I guess, I could eventually replace my job with Patreon income. Thing is, to do that, I need to grow my channel, right? I need to be recording more. I need to be maybe streaming. I need to focus on more quality or on putting out more videos, maybe like 2 videos a week, maybe additional edited versions with picture in picture, things like that to grow my channel, to bring more patrons, to bring more money, essentially. I don't want to look at it this way. I just see it as your token of appreciation. I don't want to look at it as a, I don't know, transaction or keeping me employed or whatever. But in reality, if I ever want to go full-time YouTube, that's how it looks in the end. And to do that, to achieve that, I have to grow my channel. But with the job limiting my time and limiting the quality that I can put out if I were to record on every day or most of the days, I can't do that. Right? I can't grow the channel because I have a job, and I can't leave my job because my channel isn't big enough. And I can grow it more because I have a job, and I can't leave my job because my channel isn't big enough. And it's an endless loop. It's a really catch-22 situation. Now, you might say, hey, you've been jobless for this much time and you were doing well, reasonably well. Why can't you do that again? Thing is, I have no hope of getting a better job than this. Honestly, there aren't any jobs that have this much free time, essentially, that offer this much. I could go for a programmer in some corporation part-time, but that would be part-time work. It's calculated differently for my retirement fund, for example. It's calculated differently for my off days. I get only half of the off days off if I'm working half time, for example. This is a full-time job, but offers shorter hours. So I don't wanna lose my grip on it. I don't wanna let it go because I'm not gonna get a better one, as I said. And it's a weird situation that I'm gonna have to somehow figure out something. I don't know what yet. Maybe I'm gonna triple down on recording over the weekends. I'm just gonna spend the entire weekend cranking up videos and I'm just gonna queue them up throughout the week or something. I've no clue, but I'll figure something out. If you have any ideas, I'm willing to listen, but I don't think there's any easy out of this situation. Now, one easy out for sure would be to just accept the drop in quality of my videos and just get over the fact that I might be recording something tired with greasy face and hair clumped up with sweat and sleepy and angry and irritated after the whole day of dealing with little shits at school, right? I could do that, but it's hard because I don't want to say that I want to make my videos perfect because perfect doesn't exist, but I want to make them as close to perfection as I can achieve. as close to perfection as reasonably possible to me, and I don't want to give up on that quality. There's that balance to be found, right? There's that balance of how tired is too tired, how mentally well is mentally well enough. If I'm just slightly irritated, will the video come out good, or will it turn into an angry rant? And how do you quantify irritatedness even? Those sorts of questions I'm gonna have to figure out, maybe with the help of my therapist, whenever I get to him. Because again, I got a job and my whole schedule was fucked, including the schedule of therapies that I was attending. So I've been 2 months without them, and that's not doing me any good. So shit's fucked, yo. Videos will continue. Uh, that was just a bit of a rant, a bit of an explanation. I hope. I hope what? I hope nothing. Don't change anything. Like it's not a call to you to, I don't know, start subscribing to my Patreon or raising your tiers like hundreds of dollars. No, no, absolutely don't do that. Don't do that. One, because I don't want my income to stem from pity. I won't I want that to be because you actually want to, you actually believe that my content is worth that much. Two, if you were to do that, it would be in the end just short lived. I don't think I have like 14 patrons right now. I don't think everybody would raise their pledge to $100 a month permanently. That's just not feasible. Maybe if everybody raised it for a month, I would have the hope of, hey, I can go full time now, but then everybody would drop them the next month, and what? Right? So don't change anything. It's not a call to action video, it's just an explanation. Just an explanation. That's it. I hope it didn't come off as me making excuses or something. I don't want that to be me making excuses. Just an explanation, just a bit of an insight, if you're willing to listen. Yeah, I think I don't have anything more to say, so I'm gonna end the video right here. Uh, yeah, I guess I'm gonna do my usual outro, right? So, what did you think of this episode? That was not an episode. I was having an episode past weekend. I was having an episode, all right. I was just sleeping. Then I would wake up. The realization would struck me that I'm stuck in a catch 22, and then I would cry myself to sleep, and then I would wake up, and then the realization would struck, and the entire weekend was a blur. That's why Symphogear was delayed. That's why Gundam was delayed. Yeah, another bit of explanation. Perhaps TMI. Perhaps TMI. I don't know. Uh, so yeah, leave a comment if you want. If you don't want to, that's whatever. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Even if that improvement means don't you ever make videos like that ever again, I'm gonna take it. Absolutely, that's valid feedback. And what comes next? Subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of future releases, right? Madoka movie I'm gonna record whenever. Symphogear, Sword Isekai, Arknights, Novice Alchemist, Gundam Witch from Mercury, and I also stream sometimes. Maybe when I'm back tired after work, I'm just gonna stream some gacha for like an hour or two, and that will mean like a constant amount of content on the channel. I don't know, something worth thinking of for sure. Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon throne links in the description. For $10 you get early access to non-seasonals. For $5 you get to vote in non-seasonal polls whenever they come around, and for $1 you get a role on the Discord, and you also get a place in the credits. And again, subscribe to my Patreon only if you really want to. Don't subscribe because of this video, please. That's not the way. That's not the way. On Throne, you can pitch in directly towards my purchase of better lighting, better camera, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money, share my content, spread the word. That really does help the growth of a channel a lot. And with that, that's gonna be it from me for today. Actually, no, because Madoka finale has aired already, so that was something else from me for today. But yeah, I'm gonna end it right here. So, as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and cheers. And as always, credits, list of patrons. I'm gonna have to figure something out to make it a little bit bigger, but you can join them if you want. Just, if you want.